going on, vinyl community? Welcome to another video with the Record Spinner. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a first for this channel, and that is my first pressing comparison video. You guys voted on various polls I left on social media asking if this would be something you'd want to see. Many people were for it, so I got right to work on it. I have decided that for videos of this sort, it would obviously be albums that I have multiple copies of and multiple mixes. So we are going to be killing two birds with one stone, and this is going to be both a pressing and mix comparison. The album we are going to be focusing on is, of course, the album that is on my t-shirt, In the Court of the Crimson King by King Crimson. Arguably the most important progressive rock album ever, and just simply one of the greatest albums ever. I have three different pressings of this album, and the first of the three that we are going to be focusing on is the 2010 reissue of this album. This pressing is of the original 1969 mix, cut from masters approved by Robert Fripp and mastered by John Dent. The second pressing is the 2009 stereo remix that was done by Steven Wilson for the 40th anniversary. This vinyl pressing is available in the 1969-1972 box set, which brings together the first four Crimson albums remixed by Wilson alongside extra material, and that pressing was mastered by Jason Mitchell. And then the third pressing is the new 2019 50th anniversary pressing, which is a new remix done by Steven Wilson in 2019, also mastered by Jason Mitchell. And this pressing also comes with another LP of alternate versions of each track of the album. So we will be comparing these pressings via needle drops that were done directly from my preamp into my Yamaha digital recorder, recorded at 9624-bit and synced up to my camera, which was positioned above the turntable. These needle drops were done with absolutely no EQ changes, no level changes, nothing. These are pure flat transfers. Now, of course, we will see how the newer mixes rack up to the original, but I am particularly interested in seeing the differences between the 2009 mix and the 2019 mix. Steven Wilson has said that the reason he gave this album another mix recently is because back in 2009, this was the first album that he had a chance to remix. And since then, he has built up a lot of credibility remixing catalogs of Yes, Steve Hackett, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and Jethro Tull. So within those 10 years, he has gained a lot of experience, and he was able to utilize what he had learned into this new mix, so it'll be interesting to notice the differences. Now, obviously, by the length of this video, I did not use the full songs, just brief excerpts, mainly the first verses and choruses, and you can kind of get a general idea on what they are like. And then after the needle drops, I will provide my observations of the pressings and the mixes. So without further ado, sit back, listen, observe for yourself, and enjoy.
Said the straight man to the late man, where have you been? I've been here and I've been there and I've been in between. I talk to the wind, my words are all carried away. I talk to the wind does not hear. The wind of a willow. Talking to the trees of the cobweb strange, sleeping on the steps of a fountain, waving silver wands to the night bird song, waiting for the sun on the mountain. The rusted chains of prison moons are shattered by the sun. I walk a road, horizons change, the tournament's begun. The purple piper plays his tune, the choir softly sing. 3 lullabies in an ancient tongue for the court of the crimson. The keeper of the city.
Okay, so you have heard the sound samples. The one thing to keep in mind is that the original 1969 mix is the sort of blueprint of how people have approached this album for the past 50 years. So it's important to look at the original mix as the sort of basis in this type of comparison. The 2009 mix, I felt it was a bit of a quieter mix, had a bit of shimmer in the higher frequencies, and I feel that the vocals are more prominent instead of just blending in with the instrumentation. The 2019 mix, I felt was more up to line with the original, but maybe just offering a little bit more clarity to each component of the mix. And the one thing to keep in mind is that back in 1969, bands were recording with 8-track recording desks, and in order to enable more space to record, you would do a submix of what you had on one reel and mix it down to another track on another tape, or you would bounce those tracks, and you lose generations of tape as you go through that process. And one of the great things that Steven Wilson is able to do in this case, where in the digital realm you can use up to as many tracks as you want, he is able to revisit those original multi-tracks from the respective first generation tapes. So each instrument and voice offers just a bit more clarity, and he aims to create a stereo mix that is true and faithful to the original. And alongside doing stereo remixes, he also does surround sound mixes. So once the stereo mix is done, he takes all the multi-tracks and kind of explodes them around the surround sound spectrum. However, as true as the remixes are to the original, there are a few minor differences that are rather distinguished. For 21st Century Schizoid Man, I felt that the saxophone was more pronounced in the 2009 mix, and the distorted guitars in the 2019 mix were a bit more pronounced. For I Talk to the Wind, the vocals and flutes in the 2009 mix had more reverb, and while the original has some reverb in the vocals, it's very dry sounding in the 2019 mix. For Epitaph, the electric lead guitar is more prominent in the 2019 mix. For Moonchild, I felt the vocals had more of a natural sound in both remixes. The original sounds like there's some sort of filter going on with Greg Lake's vocals, and the 2009 mix sounds very natural and dry, but I think they may have added just a little bit of that filter effect in the 2019 mix. And then for the final track, The Court of the Crimson King, the bass is more pronounced in the 2009 mix, and the mellotron and choral vocals are more pronounced in the 2019 mix. Now the big question is, which version sounds the best? That is for you to decide. Let me know down in the comment section below which version you think reigns as superior. If there are any albums or artists that you would like me to do comparisons of based on what is in my collection, please let me know, because I would like to keep doing videos of this sort. However, they are very time consuming and they do require lots of editing, so these videos will kind of pop up every once in a while. And if you have made it this far in the video, you are very lucky, because I fear that this video would have been taken down, since Robert Fripp and the folks at DGM are very hands-on in terms of how their music is represented online, and they're very quick to take down anything that isn't authorized by them. And I expect any monetization to go towards their respective copyright holders, but the main reason why I did this to begin with is because of you guys, and I knew that you would particularly enjoy this type of content. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and if you want to support this channel, be sure to check me out on Patreon. See you guys in the next video, and most importantly, keep the records spinning.